Hello, everyone! There's a major misunderstanding many men have about intimacy. They assume the most important part is the final act itself. In reality, the experience that leads up to it is what shapes everything. When you truly understand how to build anticipation and connection, you create moments so intense that her entire body reacts in ways she didn't even know were possible. The depth of response doesn't happen by accident. It happens when foreplay is treated as an art, not a shortcut. Too many men rush through this stage or skip it altogether. And that's one of the main reasons so many women never reach the level of pleasure they deserve. Real intimacy is not about speed. It's about awareness, patience, and intention. When done right, foreplay transforms an ordinary encounter into something unforgettable, an experience that lingers in her mind long after it's over. These techniques aren't tricks or gimmicks. They come from understanding how a woman's body and mind respond to touch. The foundation begins with slow teasing touch. Instead of going straight to the obvious areas, lightly tracing your fingertips along her arms, neck, stomach, and thighs builds powerful anticipation. The slower and more deliberate the movement, the more her mind fills in the gaps with desire. Anticipation is a form of pleasure in itself. By holding back just enough, you heighten every sense set. Kissing should never be limited to the lips. Turning kisses into a journey across her neck, collarbone, shoulders, and other sensitive areas awakens nerve endings that are often ignored. Varying pressure, soft, lingering kisses mixed with playful intensity communicates attention and curiosity. It shows you're exploring her, not following a routine. That sense of exploration makes her feel deeply wanted. Words are another powerful layer. Whispering close to her ear while touching or kissing her blends emotional intimacy with physical stimulation. A soft voice telling her what you admire, what you enjoy, or how she makes you feel activates her imagination as much as her bod. Full body attention is essential. When every inch of her feels included, she relaxes and becomes more open to sensation. Hands moving with confidence, tracing her back, holding her hips, running through her hair, communicate presence and intent. She feels seen, not rushed, and that emotional safety allows pleasure. Certain areas, like the neck and chest, are incredibly sensitive and deserve time and focus. Gentle warmth, shifting pressure, and returning to these zones instead of treating them as brief stops intensify the experience. Repetition builds waves of sensation, and those waves carry her closer to losing herself in the moment. Pacing is another secret. Moving between closeness and distance, softness and intensity, creates contrast that keeps her nervous system engaged. Strategic restraint, briefly pulling back when she wants more, magnifies desire. The pause becomes part of the pleasure. It's not Dina. Confident verbal direction adds another dimension. Simple.com instructions delivered with certainty can be deeply arousing because they create a sense of leadership and safety. She doesn't have to think. She can surrender to the moment. Confidence isn't forceful, it's steady. The biggest takeaway is this: foreplay is not a checklist. It's a conversation without words. Her breathing, movements, and reactions are signals. When you pay attention and adjust, intimacy stops feeling mechanical and becomes magnetic. Emotional safety matters just. True mastery isn't about doing more. It's about being more present. When she feels appreciated and deeply connected, the memory of that feeling stays with her. That's what makes intimacy meaningful instead of forgettable. Slow down, listen with your hands, and lead with intention. When connection comes first and technique follows, everything changes. You're no longer just another experience. You become the standard she remembers.